What's going on, everybody? This is Super Robot Ed, and today we're going to talk some news that was discussed at the London MCN Comic Con 2025. And so I pulled in a list of what was discussed, and we're going to go through that list, and we're going to talk about it. So first things first, from TF Hot Rod over here at TFW 2005. From what was said, they wanted to do Ruination as a redeco. So that's naturally going to be from the Combaticons Bruticus. They said they wanted to wait a couple of years before they do repaints on the combiners. Now I would imagine that. Battle Gaia is name drop. We're going to talk about Battle Gaia because I've been asking for Battle Gaia since Unite Warriors Combiner Wars. And we'll talk about it. They only want to do one combiner in a year and not two. Kind of let you know how much they're going to be producing. They want to turn the timelines into a line and have like a fan vote for it. So I'm really not going to talk about that because timelines, you know, we're getting some weird things, but they hopefully that if the Hearts of Steel goes well, we can get a Hearts of Steel Shockwave. They're going to talk about less greebling in characters. I don't really know what that means. Don't really care. I'm not really, that doesn't bother me too much. They said if they do a commander, they could give us 4 deluxes. They want to do the THROTTLEBOTS and they want to do EU characters, and Legacy Breakdown is going to be coming out. So that's good. That's definitely going to be coming. Now, a lot of talk about the PREDAKING here, and that PREDAKING supposedly is not going to use the frame system. I mean, duh. If you'd want to know the truth, they're moving away from that because technically Bruticus is not going to be using the frame system because they're charging us, remember, the higher price for Brawl and Swindle, which means they're going to be supported. They're going to be supporting the robot on their own without a frame system. So it seems, because if that's the case, just like the other, like with the aerial bots and the Stunticons, we wouldn't need heavier bots if they had a frame. So there's going to be a slight change in that. So of course, with PREDAKING, that never had a frame system due to the way it combined. And I've owned several PREDAKINGs, so I never saw they even having that. So debunk that. Anyway, Ruination. I didn't get this because I owned Valdigus, the original. So Valdigus is the original. Ruination is basically Bruticus with weird colors. Valdigus is what I want. I don't want Ruination. I want Valdigus. This is from the actual anime, not from the damn cartoon. This is from Car Robots. He has the upside down Autobot Generation 2 symbol. With that being said, when they did the G2 Bruticus, I was like, why the heck they didn't do Battle Gaia? Now, Battle Gaia is a little different in this combination, but honestly, they don't need to do the combination that Battle Gaia does along with. And I can talk about this for days. I know a lot about Japanese Transformers, a lot. Trust me on that. I can run that conversation with you forever. And yeah, I want Battle Gaia, but it's basically like a better repaint of the G2 Bruticus. Believe me, if you look at it, you can see the similarities, but another video for another day. Also, they're saying that Evan liked Rook. Now, the only Rook I know is the Rook that they had with the PREDAKING, which means that more than likely next year, we're probably going to get the PREDAKING because they're talking about Rook, and Rook, even though he's a made up member, he still was a member, which means we could get 6. That would be cool. But I don't know. Like I say, I'm only speculating, but definitely, you know, we're going to get the PREDAKING. We don't have to speculate that. That's next. If we're getting the Combaticons, we're definitely going to get these guys. So yeah, I mean, that's obvious. We don't even have to ask. We shouldn't. Where would you skip? We got the Stunticons. We got the aerial bots. We got Devastator. We got the Combaticons coming. PREDAKING are definitely going to be next. I ain't even got it. You can hear from me first. I said it. Next is HOS Shockwave. Now they said if the Hearts of Steel sell, they'll do it Hearts of Steel Shockwave. But my problem with that is the one that I probably could have gotten was the MMC version, which it was one of those controversial figures because it had issues. It had severe, like, I don't want to say severe because that's far, but it had some very bad issues. Like it went on sale briefly though. Like it dropped in price, and then after that it just went back up, and then it was gone. And I used to debate getting one despite the flaws because I had a friend who's like, yo, you could fix them flaws. I can tell you what to do. I can tell you what to do. Because he has one. He still has it. But there's also an upgrade kit for Shockwave, I think, where you can do the same thing as well. So if you got like an extra Shockwave like I do, I might look into that. But see, the thing is, he's very big, and I know that Hasbro's going to make him small. So, we'll see. Next, they talked about the THROTTLEBOTS because we already got Bumblebee. And so it's easy to do Goldbug, all the rest of the THROTTLEBOTS from there, and make, in that style. And that's pretty cool. We can get some THROTTLEBOTS that can booster out our ranks, because even with Runabout and Run Amok, it's the same. They were the same type of stylists that transformed and just sprung up on their own. You remember those? They were pretty cool. Now we're gonna talk about the EU, and bruh, y'all already know that the the Prime Skyquake and Dreadwing mold is basically this. They already have Skyquake. EU Skyquake or Euro Skyquake has already been made, because that mold is designed. If you look at the jet mold, you look at the robot mode, it is not designed like the original Dreadwing and Skyquake from Prime. That is basically Skyquake. So there's your Skyquake. Next is I would think they would probably do Thunderclash. Now I'm out on that one, because with Thunderclash, I'm not sure where they would go, considering that they retired the Earthrise Prime mold. Maybe they'll do a new one. Maybe they'll make one from the one that they did for Scourge or something like that. I don't know, but I really want them to make an official Thunderclash for once and not a repaint of something. And last from the list of the news we have is pretty much going to be a release of Legacy Breakdown. Now, this one right here is something that they discussed about how the budgets work, saying that at the end of these cycles, they get this. And I'm going to talk about that in another video about some other things I'm holding right now. Because like I said before, I got some things I got to deal with. We're going to get Breakdown as a reissue. So that is pretty good, but it begs to differ. Now, I want to talk about a few things here, because now I want to address something. Legacy Breakdown. I mean, I'm on the torn that it took this long to get this guy that a lot of people have been asking for. This is a long wait for, most people by now have completed their Venusaur by 2023. So to wait 2 more years, there's a gift set that came out. And on top of that, they're doing the G2 version. Hasbro. But yeah, all these sound promising. But like I said before, they're really, really not anything to say, oh, we're getting that. It's obvious we're going to get the Protectobots in 2027. That is definitely the next combiner. I don't even speculate that. That is the next combiner. You can debate me till the cows come home. But the other stuff, yeah, I can see them doing it. Ruination down the line, definitely. But please let it be the Voldigus colors, not the, because the toy colors for Ruination, like I said, that's Bruticus. If you want the correct Ruination of Voldigus, you got to go with Japan. And I own both of them. I used to work for KB Toys. When I worked at KB Toys, I bought pretty much all the RID at discount. So, of course, I was going to get Ruination. All 5 members right on the top, but Voldigus took a lot to get. But I wound up getting for $40 in a baggie. No box, just the baggie and instructions, which I was fine with that. So yeah, I want that. I want them to do that. If they do Battle Gaia, or you have me, Hasbro, you got my money. If you do a Battle Gaia, you got my money. Because I can talk all day about Operation Combiner. Woo, man. Guard City. All right, if you're a true Transformer collector, you know what Guard City is. If not, fall back. All right, we're done. I'm out. This is Super Robot. Bring more news reveals today. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.